Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the new Marvel Legends Strong Guy Build-A-Figure Wave Maverick. Probably the most anticipated figure in this wave, except for the Deadpool fans who wanted Pirate Deadpool, even though nobody else wanted it and it's a waste of money and plastic and budget. We did get Maverick. I know lots of people were psyched about that, myself included. He was by far, not counting the BAF, the one I was most looking forward to. I've always liked Maverick's design. Who doesn't like a cybery tech gun-wielding guy with Lego-type face paint, Lego people type? You get it? It looks like a Lego people paint job on the face. It's what it's supposed to be, but it does look like that. Like it's just a round mask with a face painted on it. Whatever, you get the idea. Anyway, it's Maverick. Everybody wanted it. Is it any good? We're going to talk about that. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just shy of 7 inches, which makes him pretty close to 17.5 centimeters. And I don't have like every character's height memorized in all of the universes that I review, so I went ahead and Googled it, and I found out that this guy is supposed to be pretty much average superhero height, a little bit over 6 foot. Sorry all you guys who are under 6 feet tall. So, like 6'3" I think is what it said, 6'4" maybe. A little bit shorter than me. Here he is up against an average Deadpool figure. He towers over him. He's humongous. I don't know. It's really big. You're probably not going to notice it if you don't put them too close to each other, but he's pretty big, which is just kind of weird. It stood out to me when I was handling him. I was like, this guy feels a little bit big. And if I had a nickel... Never mind. Anyway, that's to go ahead and talk about the aesthetic on this guy. Some people have reported to me that they are freaking tired of the marbly plastic that they use for the metallic things on Iron Man figures and guys like this. The gold here in particular is a good example. Slightly transparent, marbly plastic. The silver here is another example, but it's not quite as bad. But yes, I think I'm starting to feel that way too. I hadn't really considered it. I kind of just accepted it. But after it was brought to my attention, yeah, I agree. I'm not a huge fan of it. And especially since they do such a good job painting metallics. And I know they're not going to paint everything. That's not a realistic expectation. But it's just... it does look weird, right? It looks cheap. I think that's the thing. It doesn't look great, especially when you have a lot of it, like this, and this, and this, and this. Like, all of the gold parts are the exact same purple. Wow. Pearly, metallic. And it just kind of cheapens the figure. You guys getting that too? How do you feel about that? Let me know in the comment section below. It's not bad, like it's nice and saturated, but there's still something that's cheap about it. I think even just like a wash maybe. Something needs to be done. That said, we do have some pretty cool details with the paint job on the forearms. That's very clean. And then on the face, I don't know how consistently good this is going to be, but on mine, it's really good. And if it's good on mine, odds are it's going to be good on yours. It's very nicely done. No coloring for the hair. That is very unfortunate because it's a nice sculpt, and that could definitely be better. And then as far as other paints go, we do get some paint down here, which is very glossy brown for his leathery pants, and it looks kind of like a sausage. His legs look like sausages with some metal parts coming out of the bottom. I don't know. Oversized holster is very oversized. This figure is like really close to good, but at the same time, Hasbro made it like the quintessential Marvel Legends figure in that it looks like a toy rather than a collectible. One of the big issues on this guy is the shape of the legs. The upper body could probably be left alone, but if you... I gotta stop zooming in so far. People ask me to zoom in farther, so now I do, but then I don't unzoom because I'm not used to having it zoomed in as far. Whatever. The legs, the lower legs are just so dang big. He has big feet, big calves, big ankles, big knees, skinny thighs, relatively speaking. So it does take away the heroic proportions. He looks a lot more like an average guy wearing armor rather than a superhero, and it's fine, but I'll do a Photoshop so you can see. They would just look so much better if they were more source accurate, you know? That's really it. But this guy is good. For a Marvel Legends figure, it looks pretty solid. I look how nice the silver painted in here is. You see that? That's painted silver. They do such a good job with that. Man. Look at the difference. Can you tell? I think you can tell. Anyway, it's still fine for a Marvel Legends figure. It just could look so much better. I'm going to give it an 8. For Marvel Legends, it's good, but it could be a lot better. All right, as far as accessories go, we have 2 guns, which are the same silver plastic as his arms and legs, which does cheapen the look of the figure a lot. Also, the guns are super unrealistic, but since he's not at all realistic, I think that's okay. Some people will say they just don't use real guns anymore. Well, except when they do, so they could. But either way, I think these suit the character, and that's fine. They're okay. So 5 to 6 to 7 out of 10, I guess. He has to be posed with guns though, because he has trigger finger hands. So whatever, accessories are accessories. As far as articulation goes, the head can look back really far, despite his tubers, which you can do this too. And then if you look forward, the rebreather thingy gets in the way unless you move it out of the way, which you can't really get it out of the way. So you can tuck his face under it, which I wouldn't recommend because it looks weird, but anyway. We have a lollipop syndrome, but you can't really tell too much most of the time, so that's alright. Full rotation, a little bit of attitude. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think you could definitely seat the head a little bit lower on there, and maybe make it a little bit smaller. We'll see when I Photoshop it, but either way, it doesn't stand out as being a problem, so that's alright. For the shoulders, horizontal, so that's pretty good. No problems there. Full rotation. Bicep swivel is a bicep swivel, though there is a significant gap. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. I probably can't quite get the angle right. Oh, there we go. Maybe, sorta. Yeah, mine's got a big gap in there. I could slide like a playing card all the way through. Maybe a few playing cards, other than where the peg is. So hopefully yours isn't loose and gappy like that. For the bicep, you get 90 degrees with that joint, with this joint, and that joint. You get 90 degrees. If you use both halfway, you get just better than 90 degrees. But that's because of the armor, so that's probably okay. Wrists, swivel, and a hinge. They use the right kind of hinge for the hands. That is pretty nice. I like that. For the torso, we do have a diaphragm joint. It's a little bit encumbered by his straps, but it works okay to do like adjustment posing. You're not going to really be able to do too much with it. It doesn't go that far forward, and it doesn't go that far back. So what about side to side? Side to side is, I mean, that's good for side to side, and then rotation is fine, but that's it. There's nothing else in the torso, so very minimal posing in the torso. Like I said, mostly just adjustments. For the thighs, they go really nice all the way forward. That's pretty good. Out to the back, not too far at all. Out to the sides. Wow, farther than most, which is really nice. That's good. Thigh swivel is a thigh swivel. Double jointed knee goes all the way, pretty much. That's good. You do have a swivel in the boot. If you like that, that's pretty cool. It's fairly well hidden by the sculpt, so that's nice. The ankles go all the way back and pretty far forward, and they have a pretty terribly angled ankle rocker, but you can rotate it to get a better one. Just be aware of the issue right there. So not bad, pretty much average articulation other than the torso. The torso kind of blows, so I'm going to give it only a 6 out of 10. This guy's not going to pose very much. You just can't do it with the torso that he has. So yeah, definitely not as good a figure as I think anybody was hoping. It's just so toy-like rather than collectible-like, which is unfortunate. A few adjustments would have made it great, but as it is, it's just a nice Marvel Legends figure. It isn't actually as good as it first seems, I think. I think that's the best way to sum it up. I'm still gonna give it probably an 8, which maybe is too generous for it, but at the same time, they did do a lot of new sculpt work on here, and the sculpt's not bad other than the legs being weird, so I think 8's probably fair for Marvel Legends. Again, the scales, guys, the review rankings at the end are based on what I'm reviewing, and 8 for Marvel Legends, nowhere near the same thing as an 8 for SH Figure Arts, or an 8 for NECA, or an 8 for Hot Toys, or an 8 for anything else. It's for what the figure is supposed to be. That's always the case, so make sure you keep that in mind when you're considering these numbers. So anyway, there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I have new videos out almost every single day. And if I don't have a new one out, watch an old one. I've got thousands. You've probably missed a few of them. So come back for all of that, and in the meantime, keep collecting.